This segment is sponsored by GBMC Healthcare.
Well, it seems like everyone is concerned about the Omicron COVID variant, but what does it really mean for us? So here with an update is infection control practitioner at GBMC, Hyde. All right, as always, welcome back to Be More Lifestyle. So talk to us about the difference between Omicron and the Delta variants.
Yeah, so both variants have multiple mutations, including in the spike protein, but there are some differences and some things we still don't know about Omicron. So for Delta, we do know that it's much more transmissible than the original strain. We also know that it puts you at a higher risk of getting severely ill than the original strain. For Omicron, we do believe that it is more transmissible than the original strain, but we don't yet know if it's more transmissible than Delta. That is something that is still being worked out right now. In terms of severity, we're not quite sure what the end result will be with severity. There are some initial reports that it is less severe than the original strain, but we don't know that with certainty because it typically takes about 1 to 2 weeks after infection for you to develop a severe illness. And Omicron was only discovered about 2 weeks ago. So it is going to take some time to figure out how severe it actually is.
Okay, so do we have a clear picture if Omicron can evade the immune responses, both from the vaccines and then again from previous infection?
Yeah, so we don't have a full picture at this point, but we do have some data, a lot of which really has come out in the past 24 hours. So in terms of natural infection, people who were infected with COVID and are not vaccinated have a higher risk of being reinfected with Omicron than with other variants. So that indicates that natural immunity is lowered against Omicron as compared to the other variants.
Okay, so
in terms of vaccination, the data that we have has come from lab studies that were done on the Pfizer vaccine. And those studies showed that there is, among people who received 2 doses, there is a reduction in the antibody response against Omicron as compared to the original strain. But it's not all bad news because it is expected that that the vaccine will still protect against severe disease associated with Omicron because that part of your immunity is not controlled by antibodies, it's controlled by T cells, and those are largely unaffected by the Omicron mutations. They also have shown that getting a booster actually helps protect against infection with Omicron as well. So it's not all bad news.
Okay, so that's good to hear. So what can people do to protect themselves from the new strain?
Yeah, so to protect yourself against Omicron, you really want to be doing all the exact same things you were doing to protect yourself against any other variant. So that includes wearing a mask when you're indoors in public, avoiding large indoor gatherings and crowds, washing your hands, and of course, getting vaccinated and getting boosted.
All right. Always a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for giving us the update on that information we all certainly need at this time and information on where people can find you right there on the bottom of our screen. We appreciate you.
Thank you.